Yo, we're back.
We're back.
We're back for another, hold on. We're back for January's monthly, well, I guess January's podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much, yeah.
We owe everyone a vlog. I have to edit it.
We did do shit
We
this month.
did do it.
Yeah.
We did have a vlog. We went to like a bookstore and it was really cute. But how are you? How was your month?
It was good. You know, this month, I didn't like hit the ground running like I thought I would. It's been a very like sluggish month, but I didn't want to force it. So this was like my first week like out and about doing shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's been so cold.
Yeah,
That's also it.
Yeah.
I mean, I escaped to Mexico.
For your birthday.
For my birthday. Yeah, for my birthday. It was really cool. I went there last year for my 30th, if you were there for that. But I really wanted to go back, and flights were cheap, and Mexico City's really cool, and I love just living in like a urban jungle.
Yeah.
They're so fun. We had a really good time. Everyone we met there was from New York. And I kept asking them, like, do you think that we should move to New York, or should I move to New York because I was there? And they were like, yeah, absolutely. Like, absolutely. We thought you were from New York. And I was like, what? Did you?
Say less. Say less.
So I think that's still the goal that we're marching towards, is that New York move, for sure. It was really, really cool. There's just so many different, like, bookstores and libraries and books at bars, and there's just, the energy is just so, I mean, whenever you visit somewhere, it's always, like, the romanticized version of what life is really like when you're there.
Absolutely.
But, again, even the people that live there, like, locals and then transplants, which is a huge issue down there.
Yeah.
But everyone seemed to be chilling, like, having a great time.
Yeah.
I'm also encouraged to start taking Spanish. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Yeah.
What sparked this?
I want to go back to Mexico City more often.
Yeah.
I would love to go. I think I can handle winter up until a point.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think, like, I can do up until, like, February, and then I'm tired.
Yeah.
And so I would love to be able to, like, go to Mexico City for, like, 2 weeks in March. Or
Yeah.
just, like, the entire month of March, if I can. And then come back. Or maybe another, like, warm country. But I feel like half of those countries speak Spanish.
Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah.
That are, at least, it makes it easier for you to, like, work.
Yeah.
Remotely. And so, yeah, I think that's just a thing that I want to do. Yeah, for sure.
Because when you go to, at least me, I always feel like a stupid fucking American.
Yes, yeah, I feel so stupid not being able to be like, where's the bathroom? Like, I should not be struggling to say things like that. Like, at least enough. I don't want to be like an expert, but like at least enough that I can like understand what people are saying to me and be able to do the bare minimum. Like, what direction is this? Like we took Pilates, me and my friend, and
in Mexico.
In Mexico, yeah.
Hold it here. 2 steps so you can stretch the knees. 2 steps so you can bend the knees. If you want to make it harder.
And a lot of the call outs were in Spanish.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah, I mean, she did. I mean, I've done Pilates before, so I've just looked to the right and see what the girl was doing and just copy her. But her call-outs were so basic. I can hear it. They're basic, what she's saying.
Yeah.
Like, switch the springs from red to blue. Like, I can hear Azul and Rouge? Red?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rogue? Rouge?
I thought it was French. It could be.
I also took French. I took French in high school. That's also part of the problem. Is this focused? I hope it's focused. Although, Spanish is not an indigenous language.
It's not.
So it's just another colonizer language, which makes me feel a little bit better.
I like that.
In terms of books that we read this month, what are you currently reading? And then what would you recommend out of the books that you read in January?
So I read Powerless, Stay With Me, and then Tokyo Ueno Station, which I feel like I'm pronouncing incorrectly. I feel so bad.
I think you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel better. You know, they're all good in their own ways. Maybe it's just more of a taste, a preference thing. I don't want to shoot down anything.
Yeah.
But Powerless, light read, quick, easy. Nothing happening there. I don't. Yeah, it was okay. It was okay. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Tokyo Ueno, very dark. I would recommend it if someone was like in a brooding, like existential mood. Like, let me think about life and how much it kind of sucks sometimes. But it's good also sometimes. And then Stay With Me was just such a wild story. I just couldn't believe it. So yeah, I would recommend them all. Just
Any favorites?
I really like Stay With Me.
Okay.
I think because it was so wild.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But it was good. It was well written too.
Okay.
So I would recommend that one like the most out of, as far as a favorite.
Yeah, out of all the books?
Yeah.
Okay. I read 7 books this month. The ones I recommend are The Heaven and the Earth Grocery Store.
Yeah.
Yellowface, which you would absolutely love. I'm not even joking. You would love that book. It was so funny.
Yeah.
It's like basically like Rachel Dolezal. She wrote a book, but like this white lady's she's not even actively trying to catfish as Asian.
Yeah.
She just stole the work of like an Asian woman.
As
like,
tends to happen.
her friend
Yeah.
who died
Oh,
in front of her.
Yeah.
And then she took her like her drafts that she was working on and then published it under her name.
Right.
And then, kind of made herself seem like racially ambiguous, but per the direction of her publishing company and like her, and then just like tried to do the best that she could, just being white and trying to occupy a space that's, made for like an Asian woman or an Asian person. I think the book is interesting because it makes you wonder or question about like who has the right to tell what stories. I think that was like what the book was trying to make us think about, like who can tell what stories. TikTok made me read Hooked. I saw so many people say so many good things about it, and if you want to read a book about Captain Hook messing around with Wendy, go for it. It wasn't for my taste. There's one part, you would like this part, there's one part in the book where Wendy's like, Captain Hook is like saying he can give Wendy the entire world.
Yeah.
Like, I can give you anything. He's like, you want 17 kids? I can give you 17 kids. You want to stay home and just raise our kids? I can do that for you.
Ew.
And these are the options he was giving her in terms of like raising or giving her the entire world.
Ew.
And then the epilogue, they like defeat the bad guy, which is Peter Pan.
Yeah.
They defeat the bad guy and they like sail off, and she's pregnant, barefoot, and married, and has a kid, another kid on the way, and she's 21 years old, and he's like 30 something. And that's like this huge romantic thing. Oh my god, the sun is like blasting. It's like washing you out.
Ooh. It's fine.
It's fine.
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Y'all know what I look like.
We are here to talk about Powerless.
Yes.
So, this is my pick this month because I've seen the author all over TikTok.
Yeah.
She's like super cute and she's like young, white girl.
Yeah.
And she seems to really understand how to like make TikTok videos and how to speak to her audience.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, fuck it, let's read this book. And I'm a huge fan of like fantasy, romance, like romantasy, I guess. Like I'm a huge fan of this genre. Like I love it. It's like my favorite genre of all time. But you hadn't read. Okay, so the big comparison that this book gets is like it's similar to Hunger Games and like another book called like Red Queen or something, which I haven't read. And the author herself has said that like she pulls influences from the Hunger Games.
Oh, she did say that.
Yeah, she did say that. I saw a video.
Okay.
She did pull influences from the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I thought it was different enough from the Hunger Games to have its own lane, but you never read the Hunger Games.
I never read the Hunger Games. I know what it's about, obviously, like the movies were out.
Yeah.
I never watched it. No,
really?
but I know what they're about.
Whoa! It's good movies.
I have a hard time sitting through long movies. Aren't they like 2 hours?
I don't think so.
I may have made that up.
Maybe. But they're good.
I know they're good. Yeah. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
To not have watched it.
Or read it, yeah.
Yeah, or read it. But yeah. From what I know of the movie and the books, I agree it was different enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think, no shade, but I don't think it was as good
Okay.
as Hunger Games. I think Hunger Games is one of the best like YA series out there of all time.
Do you think it wasn't as good because of like the story and the writing, or because it's been done before?
I think it wasn't as good as Hunger Games because the author didn't make enough bold decisions. In the Hunger Games, like, she's killing off characters.
Yeah.
Like, she killed off, I mean, it's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
She killed off, like, one of the main crew. She kills off, Katniss's little sister.
Uh-huh.
Which is, like, the whole reason why she even fucking joined the Hunger Games was to protect her little sister. And then she kills her off anyway.
Yeah.
Like, there are just so many big kills. Finnick, I think, also dies. These are all spoilers for you.
It's okay.
That, like, I think it made the series so interesting. I don't think Powerless made enough bold decisions like that. So you want to take us through what the book is about? Like, what's the overall summary?
All right. So the book is about the ordinaries versus the elites. And so some people after this plague have superpowers and some people don't. So the king decided one day, let's exile all these normal motherfuckers and we're going to keep all of the elites. And so we follow this girl, Peyton, who has no superpowers, but she's, I guess, acting like she has one as a psychic. And it starts off with her stealing shit because she's in the slums and she steals from a prince. And that's where the story starts. And then she saves the prince, gets, I guess, drawn into this trial games. Is that what they called it?
It was called The Trial.
The Trial.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And she has to survive that. And so it's very Hunger Games-esque. And through it all, there's like a love triangle sort of between that prince and another prince, his brother. And that's kind of it.
Yeah.
That's kind of it.
Well, you forgot there's like a rising group. People who are ordinary are exiled, right? From like this town, right? So like even in the slums, it's like lower powered people.
Yeah.
There should be no ordinaries because the king has somehow convinced people that by, communing with the ordinaries, their lack of powers is like somehow contagious.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a disease.
It's a disease, yeah. Like somehow you would catch it and like lose your powers, or maybe your kids wouldn't have powers. It's unclear what the fear was. The resistance, yeah. So the resistance is a group of ordinaries that are living amongst the elites secretly, and then some elites who are sympathetic to their cause. And they are trying to make themselves known to the king, like, hey, we've been here this entire time and nothing has happened to the elites, so obviously this propaganda thing of like our disease being contagious is false. Yeah. I think that's the reason, that was their whole purpose.
You might be right. I don't remember.
It's so unclear. Okay, that's one of my dislikes.
Yeah.
We're gonna go through what we liked and what we didn't like, but that's one of my dislikes. Where I did not feel like that was a convincing. Like, I thought they would want to take the throne. I thought they wanted to, like, do something. Right. Once they made themselves known. But I guess their whole purpose was to just be like, hello. We're here. And that's about it. Yeah. It was like, that was just kind of weak. Again, not a bold choice.
Yeah. Likes and dislikes.
Likes and dislikes. Yeah. Should we go back and forth?
Yeah. I don't remember what we put. So okay. I have to pull up the list.
Okay. I have the list on my phone. The banter between Kai and Peyton. I thought the dialogue was written really well between the characters.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Let me I was gonna go right to dislike. It didn't go anywhere, so they were bantering.
What do you mean it didn't go anywhere?
They were bantering for nothing. What happened?
That's what bantering's for.
I want to see it lead somewhere.
Like, bantering used to be like, no, did it? Like, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's not serious.
What a tease.
Wait, is there spice in this book?
No.
I think it's YA, though.
But not even like spice. It's like, do they end up together?
I see what you're saying.
Is there a profession of love?
I see what you're saying.
Is there something?
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it didn't really. They're just kind of bickering. Yeah, back and forth. Yeah, you're right.
Old couple.
Okay.
It was cute though.
It was cute. I thought it was written really well. Like, there were certain moments where Kai said certain things, and I was like, oh, I kind of felt that. Yeah, like a little goosebumpy.
There was one line that I kind of resonated with. I said, I feel like I would say some shit like this.
What was it? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was like something about the blanket. Like, they both were under a blanket or sharing a blanket, or he gave her a blanket. He's like, oh, you're blushing. I don't know if that's the blanket or me. She's like, it's the blanket. It's kind of warm in here.
Okay, we also both liked the love triangle between brothers. Yeah. I thought that was really compelling. I love I like it when I do like forbidden love. And so in any way in which this can be like integrated, I think is really cool. And I think there were layers to this forbidden love, like two brothers liking the same girl, forbidden. Yeah. And then also like these princes liking someone who's non-royal, forbidden. And then on top of that, I mean, they don't know at the time, but like a elite wanting an ordinary is also forbidden. Right. And so I do love like forbidden love. I think it makes the tension a bit more interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It just, I feel like for every like, there's a dislike.
I know. I'm also holding back. We'll get to the dislikes soon. Okay, so then we also like the fact that people had powers.
Yeah.
You're a huge X-Men fan. I'm a huge X-Men fan.
Yeah.
I'm huge into anime. I love, you know, the tie between like humans and like the elements and nature, Avatar. Like I just love it. I think it's really, really fun. And so yeah, that was kind of cool to read.
Yeah. And usually there's a deeper meaning or like a social commentary. Usually.
I did think it was interesting that the powers didn't really have anything to do with the person.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, maybe Kai's power was more tied to his personality a little bit, but I think that was just, like, the nature of his, like, his job. But, like, Kit was he fire and ice? It was just fire?
I think Jax was fire. The other brother.
What was Kit's?
I don't remember.
Super strength?
I
think remember. Kit was fire.
Kit was the fire one? You're probably right. I don't really remember.
Either way. I thought that was kind of random. I was like, it doesn't like link together.
Yeah.
So I didn't really like that.
Yeah.
It just seemed like people were getting powers just like randomly, which is like fine. But yeah, and like the parents had powers, but were their powers? What was the king's power?
He was the super strong.
Super strong?
Yeah.
What was the mom?
They had a mom? I thought someone's mom died.
Yeah, they were half brothers. So
Yeah.
Kit's mom was still alive.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah. Or was it Kai's mom? Kit's mom.
Yeah. Wait.
Who's older?
Wouldn't it have been Kit because he's next in line?
So Kai's mom.
She's dead?
One of the moms is dead.
Yeah.
And she was there and she was doing like some kind of power.
Oh, wow.
At what point, but I forgot what it was. Because it was random. We both liked the plot twist at the end.
I did.
I thought the last quarter of the book was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like it. Like once shit kicked off and the trial was done and like the revolution had begun.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was interesting. And I think when you put characters in like a little bit of a pressure situation, you can kind of see their traits a bit more. And I think that was the most charismatic the characters were in that scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was very unexpected.
Yes.
Should we tell them? It's a spoiler.
It's a spoiler, but here it is.
Kai ended up killing Peyton's dad.
Yeah.
That was a spoiler.
Yeah. That was good.
That was good.
It was kind of like forced because like Kai was like a kid.
Yeah.
When it happened. But Peyton's dad was like the leader of like the revolutionist group. And so it was a very intentional hit for the king to send his son. That was his first kill. Was to kill Peyton's dad.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a fantasy read that isn't like a 500 pages that will like really, you'll quickly get through it, I think this is a good one. Especially for people who are trying to like break into the space.
Yeah.
Like I think it's a very easy read.
I actually in this case like the POV switches.
Oh, you know I'm not into that.
I know, yeah.
No, I didn't like that. No. I forgot about that. Yeah, because there was, so, that's a dislike. We'll get into it. Okay, the ending of the book we liked.
Yeah.
The way the book ended, which we touched upon. And that's about it.
A short list.
So, dislikes. Okay, now we're talking about POV switches.
Yeah.
I didn't like that the POV switch would sometimes be repetitive. Like, we would experience a scene from Peyton's perspective, and the next chapter we would go over that same exact scene.
That is annoying.
But from Kai's. I'm like, I don't need to know.
Yeah.
Like, let there be a little bit of mystery. Like, I don't need to know what Kai would... Like, we don't need to do that.
Yeah. With the Kai's perspective, I was like, is he stupid? Like, some of the stuff he was, like, talking about and, like... lamenting about, I have to kill people. It's like, girl.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah, it was repetitive.
Yeah.
Like, it was, like, there were inner monologues. Like, the amount of times that Kai mentioned, like, his role in society in comparison to Kit.
Yeah.
Was just, it was done so many times.
Yeah.
I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get, like, he's king and you're the enforcer. Like, we get it.
Right. You know what I also was, like, mildly annoyed by?
What?
If I see the word plague one more motherfucking time... I said, this is, what the fuck? I get it. It's like in their world.
Yeah.
But it's like every page had the word plague on it.
Ooh, wait, one of the likes that I did have is that I actually did like Kai's character.
What do you mean?
Like, I liked the fact that, like, on the outside, he's, like, this tough, like,
yeah.
And then, like, when he's sent to go kill that little girl, he, like, lets her go. But then at the same time, he didn't, though, because he just sentenced her to, like, a longer death.
Yeah. Wait a minute. He said, at least I didn't do it.
Right. Like, you guys can die in the desert together.
Yeah.
Again, a lack of bold choices.
Yeah.
Like, if Kai is going to save ordinaries from their fate of being killed, then save them.
Yeah.
Like, don't, like, I think the book lacked bold choices.
I think it also did not make anyone unlikable enough.
Yeah.
Right? Outside of, like, the king.
Yeah.
Like, the main characters that you're reading about, you're like, oh, these are all kind of cool people.
Right. Right. Like, give me someone besides maybe the girl, like, the villain girl that was into the guys.
Yeah.
So, a dislike that you have is that you didn't know why Kai liked Peyton.
The way they describe her, too, it's like, she's malnourished. She's in, like, the slums.
Yeah.
Not to say there can't be love across classes. But in this case, there's not a whole lot of interaction.
I know.
Like, I think there's something about, like, being attracted to someone in the books, or there being an attraction based on, like, how much people butt heads. I'm like, where's the like? Where's the connection, people?
And I feel like this female character is done so often.
Yeah.
It's like the underdog, but like she was secretly trained to be like an assassin by her dead father.
Yeah.
It's always this.
Yeah.
She's strapped with a dagger to her thigh.
Yeah.
I just read like 2 other books that were just like this. Like strapped with a dagger to her thigh that she wears under her dress that she whips out to stab people.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like the same character over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And to your point, it's like, okay, what makes Peyton so special that Kai was like, oh, you're like the missing piece to my puzzle. Like, what was it? You know?
Yeah. If it's the fact that she saved his life, what a typical man. Worried about what she can do for him.
I didn't like the tournament, which typically those are my favorite parts of like books. Is like when they go into the tournament and then they're put against like these like beasts and like nature, and I didn't like it. I feel like the stakes weren't high enough. In the Hunger Games, like the spectators control a lot of the outcome of the games. I think like you vote for your favorite person, but by voting you could also put in money and like send them like goods. So like let's say PETA was poisoned, like depending on his popularity, some spectators can send in like antidote for that poison for that character. And so I kept waiting for like the spectator to influence the tournament in a way, and nothing really happened.
Yeah.
Like they really were just being filmed and then watched, and at the end of the show or at the end of the week they just ranked.
Yeah.
And that was about it.
That's it.
But like there was no negative, like if you were dead last, you weren't killed off, like there was no actual real consequence of going into the games. Like everyone could live.
Yeah.
And that could be the end of it. Like it wasn't like you had to kill everyone, there's only one person left. Like everyone could live.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
I think it also speaks to that flat piece, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like you can read like across genres, like all kinds of books, like the Odyssey even, where it's like all of these like pit stops have like a deeper meaning. A deeper, commentary. This was just like, oh, that happened. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. It was like, oh, well, we had to climb a mountain together. And that was about it.
That's it, yeah.
You're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Even with the tournament, like we mentioned later on this list, but there were no big kills. No main characters were killed off, which is dull.
Yeah.
And the characters that were killed off, like the other characters didn't care about them. So like it wasn't like a bunch of strangers were put in the tournament together. Like these elites grew up together, so they know each other outside of the space. And I didn't get any indication that they were like these sociopathic, unemotional, like we have no, they seemed like they were getting along.
Yeah.
Like they were like homies, So in the tournament, when you start killing off these characters, it was strange that the other characters didn't seemingly have any reaction to that. Yeah. At least that we saw.
Yeah.
I'm like, I thought that was your friend since 3rd grade. Like, you don't care?
Yeah.
Kai just stabbed her? Like, you don't care?
Everyone just died and moved on.
Just moved on. I was just like, what?
Yeah.
And we spoke about this earlier.
What?
You don't remember this, but I thought that the first character that dies, I'm forgetting her name, I'll include it in the video, she's black. I'm like, why is the first person dead in the tournament black? But you don't think she's black.
I don't remember any descriptions of like, oh, that's a black girl. I don't remember.
I remember it.
I remember the silver hair. That's it.
I recall her being black.
Yeah.
I think I remember that.
Okay.
And so when she died, I was like, why did we kill her off? That was so... Why is she the first one gone?
Yeah.
And then Peyton's friend also is like killed as like a plot point for some reason.
Yeah.
And she's also black.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I believe you.
But I also thought Peyton and that girl were gay. I thought that was like a queer love story.
Yeah. Which might have been better. Like this little resistance.
Yeah, I thought that they were like together.
I knew they were just slumming it together.
Really?
Yeah.
But she talked about her hair so much. Like she like described her so affectionately. Like she described her so affectionately, like her beautiful skin and the curls, and I was like, oh, typically you don't describe your female friends like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, she must like her.
Yeah.
That's how I saw it.
Okay.
But then that never went anywhere.
Yeah.
So I guess they were straight all along.
She does kind of like disappear and then come back dead. Like, low-key.
Why did he do that? Do you remember? Why did the king kill her?
Was she part of the resistance?
I don't think so.
Okay, then I don't remember.
I don't think so. I think they were just like, the king like lied and said that she was a traitor.
Oh.
Remember?
Okay.
And then he just killed her.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay. Another dislike that we both had was which we touched upon, was the resistance agenda.
Yeah.
Like it just, I don't know, it's just so weak.
It was, yeah.
That there was a weak triangle between Kit and Kai and Peyton.
Yes.
Listen, I just feel like in order to do a successful love triangle, which I love, people don't like love triangles. I love a good love triangle. I think they're so fun. In order for it to be successful, there should be a reason to me, the reader, as to why the FMC should either go with option 1 or option 2.
Yeah.
It should be a real tension point where I'm going to be so upset if the main character picks 1 or 2. Like, I have to feel the anxiety and the tension of like, oh fuck, like which one's better? I'm thinking Bella, Jacob, Edward, right? Or even Hunger Games. Peeta, Gale, Katniss. Yeah. Like, for a very long time, this is unpopular, but I was Team Gale. I was like, this is her nigga from home. Like, I was fully Team Gale. I thought Peeta was too weak. I thought he was too much of like I wasn't into him. Yeah. But in this book, it's so obviously Peyton and Kai that there wasn't enough tension or enough reason for Peyton to pick Kit. Like for me, like whenever you're reading Peyton's perspective, it was so clear that she only saw him as a friend, and I thought that was like kind of boring. Yeah, I was like, why can't you kind of be into this too, though?
Right, and there wasn't enough of like, I don't want to say competition for her. Yeah, but enough jealousy between the brothers. Not that that's healthy, but.
No, to your point though, like Kai was really fucking with Peyton, and then Kit and Kai would just like carry on as if that wasn't a weird thing, that they're both were into the same girl. Yeah. Which maybe they're just more evolved and they have a really good friendship where they're able to like, you know, be each other's cheerleaders. Yeah. But I feel like any other brother dynamic, you would be like, there would be some tension there.
Right. And I did say this earlier, Kit was a little stupid. So and like, was it really a triangle or was he just there? He's just there.
Yeah, when he showed her the tunnels.
Yeah, what an idiot.
Yeah, that was so dumb. That was so dumb, but he was so into her.
Was he though?
I think Kit was really into her.
I couldn't tell if he was like, oh, look at the poor girl.
No, he liked her.
But I couldn't tell if it was like, I mean, obviously we don't have his POV. Yeah. If it was like Kai, who's like, I actually like her.
So, yeah.
I guess we don't get a glimpse into the intensity.
Yeah. And you don't feel it either because she's not responding to it in a way that would be like, oh man, like, get with Jacob. You know, like, we didn't have Jacob's POV for a while until you read New Moon. But, like, you can feel the intensity of, like, Jacob really wanting Bella. Like, you can really feel it. And she can feel it herself, you know? whatever. There were some plot holes regarding like the power system. Like, okay, so like the question I had for you was like, Kai seemingly was the only one that I could remember that had his power, where he was able to like absorb the powers of others and also sense. But in order to do that, you have to sense whether or not people had powers, which made him a really good enforcer.
Right.
So you can go out and like figure out, okay, are you someone that's an original or are you an elite? Yeah. Right? Was he the only one that had that power? And if so, why?
Yeah.
And if not, why didn't anyone pick up on the sense that Peyton didn't have powers?
Yeah.
You know, like, whether or not you can sense her powers or read her mind, or there must just be another sensory type of power that would be able to pick up on the fact that this girl had no powers. Like, how was she able to fool an entire city of people into thinking that she was, like, a low-level elite?
I think the commentary there is that people are stupid. And you can pull anything off by just being confident. I think that's really it.
Is that what it was?
And you can pull a whole town, a whole city. I'm
like, this is such a huge plot point to me.
Yeah, and for her to say shit like, my power doesn't work like that. And it's like, well, is it real?
Right.
Because it's not really giving anything.
Right. Yeah. Now, it is brought up the king. He knew that she was faking it, but I couldn't tell why he kept her alive.
Yeah, because if he had just killed her from the beginning, the story would have been over. Or at least over very soon.
Like, you are running the tournament, so there has to be, or is a way, that you could probably kill her off in the tournament.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he just didn't do that to me. Or he just didn't do it. And I just didn't know what the point of that was. Like, she had nothing on him. There was no reason to keep her alive. Like, you could have just gotten rid of her.
Yeah.
And that was a really confusing... Again, I thought it was a plot hole to me. I was just like, well, if you knew that she was faking it, just fucking kill her off.
Yeah. I mean, he did say something about, like, I needed you for the trials, for the people. I don't really remember the monologue. But it was like, okay, well, if you needed her for that, now she's dead. Like, couldn't she have been dead the whole time?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't get that. Big dislikes. Do you have anything else you can think of?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Those are the main ones. I feel bad because we have more dislikes than likes. But
I mean, but our likes are generic. Like the things that I liked are the things that the dislikes that are in the book aren't. I think it just shows the inexperience of the author.
Yeah.
Because this is her first novel, and I think she wrote it when she was like 18. So I think the dislikes are just like, it's just inexperience of like writing this type of book. Yeah. You know, I don't think that like they're active choices the author made that I did not like.
Right.
You know, I think it was like just things that she just didn't consider.
Yeah.
At least.
Fair.
Or maybe things were edited out and like it made
that's a good point. Yeah.
Things feel weirder.
That's true. I do wonder if the editors were like, I know what sells. Hunger Games. Make it more like that.
Yeah.
I do wonder.
Yeah. Because I'm like, there are just some things that just like, if you added a touch of this would have been a really, really good book.
Yeah. I know one thing we had talked about was like, I wonder if it would have been better if she went in, like, trying to kill the king, like, having a plan, trying to get into the trials, whatever, getting close and then having a love triangle.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a little bit more interesting.
Okay, so I forgot about this part. When she figures out that she's in the trials, her reaction was just like, oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
Just like, what? Like, where is the, like, fuck this shit? Like, I don't want to be, like, there was no, like, actual reaction that she had to that. She was like, oh, wow, my name's on the list. I guess I gotta go to the castle now. Yeah. Like, there was no, like, fuck, like, nothing.
Or even, like, she finds out she's going to the trials. She tries to escape. Somebody from the resistance is like, wait a minute.
Right.
I need you.
Right.
That would have been even better.
Right. Even her discovering the resistance, I felt like was a little weak.
Yeah.
First of all, they're hiding in her old family's house. That's not super secretive.
That was a little dumb.
Like, if they're looking for resistance, wouldn't they look at the house of the former leader of the resistance? Like, that was just so silly to me. And then she discovers this resistance, and she's just like, oh, okay, I'm down. Like, I'm game.
Yeah.
And there was no, like, does this make sense? Like, there was no, I don't know, she just didn't seem to think really hard.
And, I mean, that could also be, like, our bias. Like, right? Like, we both have said if a zombie apocalypse comes, we're just giving up. Yeah. She didn't give up.
Yeah.
On life.
She did not.
We would have. So maybe that's why we can't understand, like, why are you fighting, girl? Like, what?
What is this? Wait, did you like the fact that Kai let her go at the end? So at the end of the book, Peyton kills the king, and Kai finds her right after she kills the king, his dad, and instead of killing Peyton, he lets her go.
Yeah.
Did you like that?
I mean, I like that she didn't die, but I did not care for him saying, I'm going to let you go, but I'm going to come and find you. I thought that was a little stupid. Because it's like, why not just get the job done?
Right.
Or just let her go.
Yeah.
But I know that sets the stage for the next book.
And I think he just needed some time to, like, you know.
Imagine being that whipped off of nothing. That's crazy. You like that part?
They let it, yeah. I thought it was like, he's a true yearner, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was, like, oh, like, you're caught between your duty and, like, your love, and ultimately, you know, like, you have to do the right thing, which is to kill this girl. Like, you have to. But in this moment, you can't do it. Like, so many things have happened at this time, you physically cannot do it.
Which is also wild, because he didn't even like his dad. Like, I thought he would have been like, oh, fuck that nigga.
But I like that.
Yeah.
I actually like that, because I just finished reading Scarred, and the FMC in Scarred, I don't know if she's like Nala or Mufasa's wife, I don't know who she is.
Yeah.
But she finds out that her uncle was lying to her, and then, but he, like, raised her for so long, and instead of being conflicted of, like, this whole, like, oh, fuck, like, this is my uncle, he raised me, he's, like, a father figure, but he's been lying to me, she just sets him on fire.
I wasn't ready.
She sets him on fire, and she watches him burn to death, and I'm like, that is so crazy.
That is wild.
There should be a moment of, like,
hesitancy,
like, just a moment of it.
Yeah.
Like, even if you end up setting him on fire, that's fine, but she just did it, and she's like, I didn't feel anything. I'm like, what do you mean you didn't feel anything?
Right.
That nigga was something. That was your dad.
Yeah.
You know?
I get that. Yeah.
So I'd like the part that he was like, fine, just go. I'll figure this, I'll sort this out later. Just go. Just go.
Yeah.
And I also really liked, at the epilogue, we did have a little sneak peek into what Kit was thinking, because he's the one that got bamboozled.
Yeah.
You know, and based on his choices, he led to the demise of his entire royal family. Like, his father dies because of Kit's foolishness, you know? And so I liked the anger that Kit felt towards Peyton.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, this is kind of fun. I think the next book's gonna be good. Are you gonna, well, you said that you will wait for me to read it first. And let you know.
Yeah.
I think the next book's gonna be good.
Because I'm sure, like, the author has gotten, like, feedback, has a better idea of where she wants to take it, so.
Yeah. And, like, again, to me, 18's a kid. Like, you know, she was so young.
Yeah. This is very good for 18.
Yeah. Very, very good. And so I'm curious to see, like, as she develops her skill, like, what else can she do with the story? Because I think she has a really good story here.
Yeah.
And maybe she could put some space between the Hunger Games comparisons and herself, because the Hunger Games, like, from what I remember, like, they go back to the tournament, like, in each book. Yeah. So, like, they go back and they do the Hunger Games again and again and again. I think. I don't really remember. But, like, after this, like, is there a need for a trial? Like, you know, who won the trial?
I actually don't remember that.
Who won the trial? Was it the girl? The mean girl?
I thought she died. No?
She didn't die.
Did she die?
No.
Are you sure? I thought she died at the end. Maybe it was, like, when they were fighting?
Who killed her?
I don't remember.
She didn't die.
I'm making shit up.
No. Did she die? No.
I thought she died.
Who won?
I actually don't. I don't remember that
part.
Did I
Google it?
Yeah.
Because I can't find it. I think it was.
I don't remember.
I think it was the girl who won it. Right? I don't remember. But that kind of shows how unserious the trial is. Like, there was nothing at stake. That, like, it didn't matter who won.
Right.
Like, I actually don't know why they were even doing this. Like, what happens if you win?
I think it's just to, like, for, like, ceremonial purposes, like reenacting the plague or some shit. That's what I kind of remember.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like, oh, this plague happened years ago. This is like a semi-reenactment. Someone tell me if I made that shit up. I don't think I did.
At the end of it, you win something. Like, you win, like, a and you're now the strongest elite. Right?
You might win something, but I remember like the purpose and why it's like so dutiful.
You know what's also kind of crazy?
What?
That there was no mention of previous trial winners.
Oh yeah.
Like in Hunger Games, like someone correct me if I'm wrong, but Katniss is like coached like a previous trial Hunger Games winner.
Is that Lenny Kravitz?
No, that's her stylist.
Never mind.
Some white dude. I'm forgetting his name. He's also famous though.
Woody?
Yeah.
Harrelson? Yeah.
Yeah, he's in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's him. And he's like fucked up. He's like completely fucked up from winning it. But like I think he's like her coach or something.
I think if she added that, then it would have been like, oh, you're really copying
the Hunger Games.
Hunger Games, yeah.
But if you're saying that this trial is different from other trials, I would assume that there would be trial winners,
right?
That people would like know of or reference or like, the Red Tiger from season 1 was so. Right. None of that happened.
Or even to like incentivize the poor people, like if you win this you can get out of the slums, something. Yeah,
that was interesting. I didn't really understand that.
What a time. It feels like so long ago.
I mean, it was so long ago, isn't it? But you said this, like Powerless, these books about fantasy and powers are meant to be a reflection or a commentary on something in today's society, and it felt like there wasn't a lot of that in this book. And I think it's because the author is young and maybe she doesn't not to no
shade.
Not to like patronize her or whatever. But like when you're 18 years old, you're just trying to figure out what the fuck is even happening on this planet. And so to pull parallels out and like say this is a commentary on how people are moving today in society, I think that's really tough to do when you're young. Versus Suzanne Collins was like, I don't know, 35 when she wrote Hunger Games.
Right.
I mean, I guess there's like the haves and the have-nots, but that was really it.
But even that, it's like, girl, we know people are poor.
Right. Right. Even the have-nots were just like, we just want to let the haves know we exist. And it's like, that's not what poor people want.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Rich people know they exist.
Yeah.
Give us some of your shit. That's the thing. We fucking know. Yeah. Like, they know you exist.
Right.
That's not anything.
Oh my gosh. So what are we reading next?
I don't know.
I don't think we picked.
What should we pick? Is it your pick?
Oh, I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Which is so hard too, because I'm going to talk about this. Something is going on booktok. And I'm thinking it's pay for play. Something is happening. Y'all, it's payola of some kind.
Yeah.
Because there's no fucking way that people are, not to say these books aren't good that get a lot of recognition, but there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. And people will say like, oh, you're not on the right side of booktok. And we're like, that's the point.
That's the point.
The point is the major shit that gets pushed out. Not like a subset of the algorithm. The major shit that gets pushed out is bullshit.
Yeah. That's literally the point.
Yeah.
We should read Credence by Penelope Douglas.
Why does it sound so familiar?
Because it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere, and everyone. People are in the comments are like, please read Credence. Like, please read Credence.
Credence.
Penelope Douglas.
What is wrong with y'all?
They're like, if you hated Haunting Adeline, you will not like this book. But it's one of those books that everyone has read, and everyone's like, oh, it's just so.
I don't want to read about rich people. Grew up with wealth and privilege, but not love and guidance.
Oh my god. Boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo. I don't want any spoilers. I don't want to know.
I'm not going to say anything else, but what are y'all on?
I just see it everywhere. Like, Credence.
Tell me the drugs, please. After reading. Because there's some insinuations here that I'm like,
alrighty. Well, that's about it. Any other thoughts about Powerless?
Not the book, but we should tell the people we're going to New York next month.
Oh, we are. Yeah. We're going to New York next month, end of February. Maybe we can film this in New York.
Oh yeah, I'll be done by then. I'm usually the slacker, you guys, so it's usually my fault that shit is late. So
okay.
I'll work on that.
Okay. So we'll read Credence?
Yes.
Unless we find something else to read. I haven't heard it, but I haven't been on like that either. Okay, well, what's that girl who wrote Love Theoretically? Allie?
Hazelwood.
Yeah. She has a book that's dropping. Either it's dropping this month or it's already came out or people got arcs for it. I don't know. But a lot of people who did not like her other books said that this book is really good. Her new book is really good.
Who?
I saw some black people saying
okay.
it.
You know, that's what I was asking.
I saw some black people saying that her new book is actually a lot different from like her other books. And I'm curious to see if she can do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Because, come on, that book was iconic. Love theoretically.
Iconically bad. But yes. I'm trying to see, is there anything else that we're doing?
Yeah, that's it. So I guess we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in February.
Bye.
Bye. Are we reading love stories in February?